Bonjour, bonjour. Hi, everybody. Super excited to be with you for the Piwik PRO Day, the first edition. It's really an honor to participate to this edition. So thank you for the invitation. And of course, congratulations to Marcin and all the Piwik PRO team organizing this new virtual events. It's really good news. So before talking about data visualization with Piwik PRO, let me just introduce myself. So my name is Mehdi Oudjida, and I'm French. I live in Lyon. I'm an independent digital analytics consultant. Last year, I joined the amazing analytics team, the Analytics Ninja, and I work part-time with senior analytics expert, and I really enjoy these moments. So my passion is about data visualization, no surprise. So the way to concretize how to communicate with data. Basically, I have a preference for visual communication. So no surprise. I like trying to find visualization solution fitting with an audience and its concerns. So during my career, I use a lot of analytics UI. And so when Looker Studio was released 8 years ago, I jumped on the first train and started to make my visualization, my reports, my dashboards with it, and enjoying that with the project from my clients. And I quickly began sharing with the community through various projects, including a blog, a Chrome extension, and you know what? There are a next thing that's gonna be released very soon. Let's say that it should help analytics practitioners with high expectations. So for the moment, but it's coming. So today I propose to talk about visualizing Piwik PRO data. It's not going to be a classic features review of the Piwik PRO reporting capabilities. Let's focus on some specific elements and good practices. Let's dive in the interface and highlight some nice examples. Maybe for people that are not very familiar with the interface of the reporting, it's also a way to navigate and discover the interface. We will talk about the UI details of standard reports, the synergy across types of reports with custom reports, the responsiveness of dashboards, the readability when it comes to building real-time dashboards, and last but not least, the way to select the good solution to extract Piwik PRO data and be creative inside a data visualization tool. And maybe you guess which one I'm going to use. So I turned off the camera just to get a lot of spaces on the screen. Indeed, we're gonna jump very frequently from the slides to the Piwik PRO interface. So it's gonna be more convenient for me to just display the slides. So we're gonna start with the standard reports. As I said, it's about finding some nice details because, in my opinion, we used to say that the devil is in the details. And I'm convinced that it's also the case about a good UX. It's in the details. So let's just take two examples from the interface of the standard report section just to show you that. So the first one gonna be about the scorecard. So if I switch on the interface of Piwik PRO standard report. So here, the third tab in the interface of analytics, we're gonna find some standard reports proposing scorecards metrics at the top of the reports and also the related trends. So I can draw the trends of metrics, selecting them on this drop-down menu. And we can notice that the color that is assigned to each metric is also displayed at the bottom of each scorecard. So quite consistent. But what is better is the fact that this scorecard is clickable. So if you wish to remove or add a scorecard and so a metric in the trends just below, it's possible. So it's a small details, but it's quite intuitive and it's quite cool to be able to click on it and to interact directly on the trend lines. So quite nice. The second example is about contextual access. So if I go back to the reports, so now we are on the downloads reports in the standard report sections, and we see the trends as usual, but more important, the details below. So for this one, we can see that visualization gives you the possibility to answer to the first next question. Is really important for me, that to be able to get something and to get the next steps of something. So if we see in this table, the first icon available for each download, it's about confirming what is the content of this PDF, clicking on a button to open the PDF. So it's quite nice. It gives the context. So fine, it's the first step when it comes to check some information about the context of a download. And you can also, of course, check the unique downloads and the downloads. And the second one is really nice because basically it's going to answer to the answer where and what drove to trigger these downloads. So we just need to click on it and boom, you're going to get a nice flow of exploration explaining what happens just before the download of the file. And if you need to go deeper, you can also save these reports and customize it. But it's another story, but it's also possible. So we just saw with these examples and the previous one, just two teeny details in standard reports, but for a smoother UX anticipating how to go fast and how to answer to the next question. And it's one of my wondering what's the next question when it comes to build an interactive report, so the standard report proposed by Piwik PRO. Let's switch on the custom reports and talk about the synergy between reports types. It's quite important. I think so. So the first example, it's about the synergy for report creation. The best way to avoid writer's block when it comes to creating custom reports, it's a small help. Maybe you guess which one gonna be displayed right now. I'm gonna talk about, again, the standard reports. So the standard reports are your friends to not get the writer's block, the empty page, not knowing which information you're gonna start to create your report. So the standard report's gonna propose here for most of them a button to customize the report, and if you click on it, it's gonna propose a way to configure a new custom report. You will get easier to start to create a report, avoiding a blank document. And if you are not familiar with a specific data model, you're gonna be happy to see that you got some information about the context and how it's configured, which information, which dimension, which metrics are displayed. And if we take another example of standard reports in the e-commerce section, so more specific to e-commerce data, maybe you will be interested to create a shopping stage report or shopping behavior. And it's the same thing. You just need to customize it, see what kind of information are configured, start to understand about which data model is behind the scenes, and start to play with that. And maybe you will need also to open a documentation about the lists of dimensions and metrics. And so the synergy between the standard report and the custom reports, it's quite important for report creation. The second example of synergy is about the navigation. So before jumping in a custom report, we usually have a first overview of the current situation in terms of digital performance. And usually you start for that with the dashboards. So you start to read the dashboards and it raises some questions. And because it raises some questions, you're gonna maybe dive deeper thanks to custom reports. And the interface of Piwik PRO can help you for that. So if I go to the dashboard section, if I select my dashboards, I'm able, with a text widget, I'm able to include a link to a custom report. So for this example, what I've made, I just jumped in my custom report sections. I opened my Traffic Sources Explorer. I click on Share. I copy in the clipboard the link to the custom reports. I switch on my dashboards and I decide to put my link here. So easy. I just get my first level of information, my first overview from the dashboard. And then if I need, I can just click on something basically made to jump deeply in the data. So a second example of synergy, but more for the navigation flow of the report readers, jumping from dashboards to custom reports because designed quickly thanks to the standard report. I'm helping people to adopt the Piwik PRO data model in an operational way, very fast. Let's continue with dashboards. We start to see some dashboards with the synergy of the custom reports. So it's a first step, but let's now continue directly with the dashboard and what I like inside the tool. We're going to talk about responsiveness. So with two examples again. The first one is about designing a dashboard. So let's go back to our dashboard. So when you are designing a dashboard, the interface manages automatically the height and the width. And so you've got a kind of automatic snapping, you see, to snap to a kind of virtual grid. And you see that this grid design is represented with a kind of blue shadow to know what's going to be the limits and where you're going to switch to another line. So it's really, really smart and useful when it comes to build something nicely readable. And also when you need to align some elements, create maybe something based on 1, 2, 3 columns. And so the fact that you got this kind of guides help a lot. And so if you change the size of the window, I'm not going to do it because I'm sharing my screen, but if you change the width of the window of the Piwik PRO window, you're going to see that everything is responsive and everything is adaptive regarding the width of the screen, in addition to the grid design that you take advantage when you make the reports. And the other thing is the fact that on dashboards, you can also apply segments, and segments gonna get also some consequences of the data displayed. And in this example, if I add a segment of mobile traffic, I'm going to see that the widgets going to include for most of them both segments, but some of them going to create a side-by-side visualization. So my small tip is the fact that you know that readers, when they've got the control, can try these capabilities. So always test how behaves your freshly created dashboards, applying also segments, because it's quite important to try to control everything and to see that nothing is broken because of this change. And it's time to talk about real-time dashboards. So the new features available in Piwik PRO. So I love these features because mostly it helps to be specific, and it's even more important when it comes to real-time dashboard. Basically, because I think that if a dashboard is not specific, it's maybe dangerously just a gadget. So if it's not specific, it means that you will not be able to adapt your dashboards for, I don't know, a plan of redirection, because you need to change all the URL and see that everything is fine in real time. So be specific. It's really important. And so about this new features, congratulations to Piwik PRO, because it's nicely accomplished, mission complete, really cool. But now we give the keys to the report designers. So it means that we need also to keep it specific, right? Because the tool can give us the capabilities to be specific, but now we need also to keep it simple. And why I say that? Because the real-time reports, it's something that's gonna automatically be refreshed by the windows. And so because they are going to change, there are some consequences about how the reading experience is gonna be. So for this, we need to help the reader. And because it's not possible to interact with the reports, we're gonna use some visualization trick to do what it's necessary to get 1, 2, 3 levels of information. In this example, I've just created bar charts. So really one below the other. The second have just an additional dimension. So it's the source. The first one displayed just the channels. And so because you put one below the other, you can read that vertically and understand that the social, in this example, so the social channels generating traffic thanks to LinkedIn and Twitter. So it's just a way to display data, helping people to get 2 levels of information. It's not possible to interact on it because basically it's refreshing every time. So let's put this information just to help to read that very efficiently. Something that is not available can be a good thing. So less widget types for relevant visualization. It's really a good choice for a tool of dashboards creation. At the left, we've got all the widgets that are available for the dashboards. At the right, we've got the real-time dashboards. So let me ask you, which one is missing, or more exactly, which one you can say is not present for the real-time dashboards? Yeah, exactly. It's the pie chart, as usual. It's always a pie chart. So we all know that the pie charts are not recommended, or recommended for very few cases, 0+ use cases, let's say. But for the real-time dashboards, in my opinion, it's not recommended at all because it is hard to follow visually the change after each real-time auto refresh. One of the limitations of chart based on exclusively chairs visualization, you see, we can just follow the chairs, and it's really, really complicated. And the other thing is the fact that real-time dashboards are cumulated metrics based on the look-back window, not something that's gonna be very, very relevant for pie charts. So one time again, bar charts, the solution are bar charts. So please, Piwik PRO team, keep it like that. And if there's a chart type to add, it will be maybe the horizontal bar charts. And why not an animated horizontal bar charts? It could be really nice to see the trends of tops changing with an animated horizontal bar chart. Just a suggestion of why not. So at last, let's talk about the Piwik PRO data, but inside the data visualization tool. So we're not gonna use the interface of Piwik PRO this time. We're gonna use an interface on another tool. Ta-da! I've selected Looker Studio as our example of data visualization tool. Surprise! No, it's not a surprise, I know. So, in my opinion, and to keep it simple, there are maybe 3 main solutions to load Piwik PRO data. The first one is about using directly the native Piwik PRO connector for Looker. So it's fast, it's easy to use. You don't need to prepare any data engineering. The other solution is about asking some small requests through the HTTP API of Piwik PRO. So again, some automation scripts like Python and some scheduling of these scripts, you can be able to export some specific data and store that in reporting tables that are going to be used by Looker Studio. And the third solution is about asking your Piwik PRO sales manager to activate the BigQuery raw data exports. And it's going to be available through 2 or 3 tables. So 3 main options to address your requirements. It depends on how fast you need information, how complicated you need to compute and re-prepare the information, and if you wish to store also your data inside your data warehouse. So these 3 solutions are available for you. And I've selected 2 examples of reports I've made with Looker Studio. So the first one is directly created with Piwik PRO connector. So it's a page navigation summary. Just to go quickly in the reports, it looks like that. So we've got a selection of a page. And so everything that happened before this page and everything that happened after this page with some metrics to get some context about this page. It's just something that I've built, let's say, just to push the boundaries of the connector and to see if I can make complicated things just using the connector. And it's possible, but because of some trade-offs, if you've got a lot of data, it's probably not the best solution. You need probably to think about the 2 others. The other example is made with directly BigQuery raw data. It's something I've designed for a client and I've just transformed it as what we can call a kind of Looker Studio recipe. And so it's about the e-commerce funnel. So I've built something directly stored in BigQuery through the exports of Piwik PRO, creating a funnel. So a basic funnel, what we used to create when we need to follow an e-commerce funnel. But this time, because I don't know if you remember during the presentation of the standard custom reports, we try to anticipate the first move of exploration when it comes to interactive reports. And this time is the fact that every time you are jumping into a funnel, you see where are the drop-off, you see where are the good metrics that don't need optimization, but the next step is checking the trends, and it's also checking the same information drilled down by dimensions. So it's exactly what I made. So I've got a funnel, but if I need to check what's happening between the payment method and the checkout, I'm going to click in it. So the 75% that are here are available here through a trend. So you can identify if there are kind of shift, and you can also drill down this information. Voila, it's just what you can do when you export your data, to example, directly with the connector, and also when things are prepared inside your data warehouse in BigQuery against some data engineering preparation. That's all. It was the last topic. So just to sum up, just enjoy the UX details of the standard report. Take advantage of the synergy between the custom reports and all the other reports. Think adaptive and responsive about your dashboard. Keep your real-time dashboard specific but simple to read. And so set the cursor of the right level to export the Piwik PRO data, and being creative to visualize them in a data viz tool. Thank you.